Hey guys, it's me, Meteor, and here we're going to be doing the boss rush mode of Kirby Dream Land 2. Now, I did say I was going to be doing the boss rush modes for Kirby 2, 3, and Kirby 64 as well. So I'm starting off and doing them in order, even though I did the Let's Plays in reverse order. I did Kirby 64, Kirby Dream Land 3, and then Kirby Dream Land 2. I'm going to be doing the boss rush modes in order of Kirby Dream Land 2, 3, and 64. Anyway, after you hit him twice with an apple, he actually drops off his little mask, and he could actually start spitting little puffballs at you. But then he actually just dies after hitting him a couple times. Now, right off the bat, he just starts running into this guy here, Naruff, starts running into the middle of nowhere. And he starts throwing bombs at you. He's noticed the first time I actually picked up two at the same time. It actually does double the damage in this game. We'd actually grab two of them. In later Kirby games, it only does a little bit of damage more, but in the old times when they actually didn't have a health bar, and they actually had, actually units of health, a double star actually does double damage. Anyway, just avoid him at all costs. He's going to try jumping from platform to platform. Like here, I'm going to try and grab two again and wait for him to appear and do double damage there again. And that's pretty much that. Now we have sweet stuff. This one took me forever to try and do without taking any damage or anything. This thing is just a pain until I figured out its pattern. First time when he's going to summon 2 stars right off the bat, you want to hit him with the first one at the top as quick as possible, and then hit him with the bottom one right afterwards as well. If you're right up next to him, you can also hit him with your little puff balls right there by hitting him just by breathing on him underwater. By doing that 3 times, you actually do 1 unit of health. Try not to get too close to him or wait for, if he tries moving his mouth up at night, he's going to rush at you, so be careful. And I missed both of those, okay. But now for this attack here, you want to stay at the very bottom, because if you stay at the very bottom, you will not get hit. But if he's going to rush at you, if he's at the bottom, if he's at the top and he tries to charge at you, he's going to rush down. If he's at the bottom, he's going to rush up. It doesn't really change until like halfway through the stage, like right there. And he's taken out right then and there. So alright, did both 3 of those so far without taking any damage. And now we have Ice Dragon. This guy is kind of annoying. I could either be really good against this guy or really terrible. The reason being these icicles. Now what we want to do is actually grab him and actually just float up as soon as you can. Now unlike other newer Kirby games, I mean, you have to actually, you can't just mash A to float. You have to actually hold up on the control stick to float. And if you get to a point here where you have to actually grab one of these, like the middle icicle, you could be in for a lot of trouble, because if you actually stay in the corner, it's going to drop first, and the splash damage of the other 2 icicles will hit you. So it's kind of hard to judge. You want to be as far out of the corners as possible, and if you don't, if you actually drop down instead of floating up immediately, you will get hit by the splash damage of the other icicles. So you got to be careful and quick on your feet. Always run underneath him and try to keep and go to the right side or left side where he is as quickly as possible, because you don't want to get by splash damage. You want to grab the icicle on the very right or the very left, depending, because if you don't, that could lead for a lot of trouble. He's already down to half health, and that time I have to grab the middle one, but he wasn't actually far enough with the second icicle to hit me that way, so that wasn't too big of a problem. And this time they're pretty far away, so hit him again right there, and then one more hit and he should be down. Of course, he also has a little ice attack there too. And when he does that, he actually freezes you, but it still only does 1 damage and 1 unit of health. So, now for this attack, he's not going to slam down. He just actually tries jumping over you that way, or jumping on you. You can always tell, because if he angles himself when he jumps, he's not going to drop down icicles. But if he jumps up straight down like this, or not like that, but like that, he's going to drop down icicles. So grab that, hit him, and that is it. Ice Dragon is down. Alright, so now we have Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. I love these bosses, but I absolutely hate them in Boss Rush. My gosh, these guys are annoying. Well, they have 2 forms, the sun and the moon. The moon is, well, they're both really annoying to dodge, but the moon one's annoying, because when the stars drop down, if you grab one, you're probably going to get by the other one. And the eclipse attack here, you want to be on the side of where the moon is facing, not the sun. And also, take note that you can actually run into the sun and the moon when they're not fighting you, but you can't actually hit them otherwise. Now, when you actually see the sun move towards you, you never actually want to be underneath the sun when you're facing the moon, because you'll get lasers shot at you constantly. Now here, for example, he actually didn't actually shoot stars more than 3, and I was able to dodge them. But even though the sun is cracked, he can still drop that. Oh, that's not looking good, and I hit him just in time. Perfect. Without only taking 1 damage. Alright. And moving right along, there's no break in between this. They don't give you that crap. No, this is hardcore Kirby. They actually give you just straight into fight one boss, good. Go right straight into the other. Here we have Krakow Jr. being a little bit different than he normally is. He's going to swoop down, but as long as you stay in the corners, either the left or the right corner, you should be completely fine. Just make sure you duck, because if you do not duck, he will be able to hit you in the corners no matter what. So you have to duck for that. When he ducks down, grab one of those as he drops down, hit him in the eye like that. And of course, just float up for this phase here, because he can't hit you on the ground. He is stuck to the clouds at the bottom. So after he pops back up, grab one of those that come down. I missed again. I missed it twice so far. That was 2 damage hits I could have done possibly. If he stays near the middle, kind of not like that, but right there, like this right here, if he stays in the middle, he's actually going to shoot out all 4 corners. Then when he drops down, grab that guy. Wait for him to spawn up, not underneath you. If you see him coming underneath you, move away. And you drop, oh, that was actually, I thought you were going to do your electric attack first, but I guess not. One more hit and you should be good. Be careful, he's going to be another spawn the 4 right there attack again. Grab down, grab that. And we killed Krakow Jr. But of course, that's only phase 1 of this. He also has a second phase where he goes into his full-size Krakow, actual Krakow. Now, the first part of this is actually kind of easy. Then he completely removes and actually starts doing random attacks completely. It's kind of hard to tell what he's going to do. It's easy to tell when he goes from side to side. That much is simple. But then when he starts doing attacks like this, not like that, but this one here. If he's in the middle like that in the first phase at more than half health, as long as you stay on the side, you should be fine. Just jump up to the last attack. If he's on the side, which he will be very shortly, like this, and then he starts doing that little attack like this, just stay in the corner, don't jump at all, because he actually will shoot right over you. Same if he's on the very left side and he does that attack, he's going to hit you the same way. But after he's at half health, he kind of changes it up a bit. This one's the same, just jump into the very last one. However, he's also going to change it up as well. This one's just the same, he's going to shoot you in the corner again. But if he gets a little bit higher and does the same attack on you, I thought for sure he was actually going to float around there, so that I kind of took damage. Going to run over to the other side. Okay, took damage again. Not doing a very good run against Krakow. Now, if he's like this, for example, he actually shoots you in that corner. I didn't jump, but that's my own fault. But yeah, you actually, if he's up higher on the left side, you actually want to avoid it. If he's up, secondly, if he's lower, you could avoid him on attack like this. If he's up a little bit higher, you have to actually jump for that last attack. Kind of hard to predict because it's kind of hard to tell what his distance is, but either way, hit him one last time, and he is down. And there's also a little pep brew bottle right down there, right before the final fight here. So then take a little break there. We have 3 health to fight King Dedede. Alright, let's do this. If I didn't do so badly against Krakow, I could have not healed at all, but whatever, not going to bother. Just trying to get this done. I'm not really going to try to do anything real crazy here. But either way, he starts off just like he does in Dreamland 1. Very simple. His attacks are very, very easy to dodge. He's very slow. Very easy to jump over. Well, except for Extra Mode Dedede. That guy's just insane. But either way, just make sure when he does a little swing hammer attack to stay up in front of him. You can actually grab 2 stars. That way you do 2 damage to him. Quite simple. Very predictable for the most part. Until, well, he's going to throw his hammer there, and then he gets upset. You want to float up in the air for this, because he's going to constantly dive at you, and he has a lot of splash damage attacks. It's really not worth to try and actually grab stars in this form. You'll probably end up here getting yourself hurt more often than none. So when he has that hammer there, you actually want to fly towards him, because if you don't, you will get that splash damage up in the face. Like, for example, see, that one's over there to the right. So as long as you actually, if he swings his hammer down and you float above him, he'll be fine. But after a while, he'll pewter down, get fine, and then go into his regular phase to battle you again. But here he goes back into a splash damage phase. Now notice what happens if you try running away from this attack here. I'm not going to show it off there yet. However, for this attack, I tried running away. As you notice, it actually came in right towards me. If I actually went over King Dedede at that part, it wouldn't have affected me. But now he's back to his normal phase again, and he has the same tactics over and over. As long as I don't take any more damage, I should be fine. I can't do any more stupid attacks here. I just have to be careful, but as long as you float up and you actually stay far away from him, don't get too close to him. Only get close to him when he brings out his hammer, because if he does that, he's going to try jumping up. But then just get close enough to when he jumps up, and then actually go away from him. So actually go underneath him, to actually wait for him to swing, and then float over him, kind of like this. Like if you do that, swing, float over him, splash damage can't hurt you, but immediately get out of the way because he'll try jumping up towards you as well. He definitely kicks things up a notch immensely. He like takes things up to an 11 basically. Same difference, up. And sometimes when he gets lower in health, he actually combos up. He actually uses his little splash damage attack there, where he actually throws the hammer or dives at you, and then he brings up his hammer to try and swing at you as well. So either way, same difference. He also actually could go towards you as he inhales, rather than just stay on the ground like normal. See, like that, he actually exhales, then he actually throws the hammer down at you. And as he gets lower and lower in health, it takes longer and longer for him in this phase before he switches over to his normal phase. So you have to be very wary of that as well. But as long as you follow the same tactics, it's not really that big of a deal. And one more hit, you should be down. And King Dedede is destroyed. Alright, so he is down. And thus, the rainbow drops come together after you collect all of them. We all know the ending. We actually already saw the ending. We saw the final boss. But it's just one more phase to go here, and then we are good. We get our rainbow sword. It should look a lot cooler if it was actually in color, and your health is actually restored. So that kind of, so the hard part isn't actually beating the final boss. The hard part is actually getting past the first 6 bosses before you get to King Dedede. That lies into the trouble there. Either way, Dark Matter Swordsman is pretty repetitive and a bit of a staller. Starts off fine. I mean, you hit the little orbs there, you're gonna back at him, try and do a splash damage against him. It's gonna hit him, split, he takes damage, he's gonna try rushing at you. That's basically all he's gonna do, except make it a little bit faster. He doesn't really change it up much at all. Gonna throw that at you, split. Eventually he'll start shooting little lasers at you too. Not like those, but a little bit different. Yep, just wait for it. Like this, for example. But if you stay at the bottom or the top, the lasers cannot affect you. But just as long as you stay at the top, you should be fine. Now, Dark Matter tries doing a bit of different tactics. Like sometimes he'll throw an orb in the opposite direction for you to try and hit and go down towards, and they'll actually shoot lasers at you as you try to grab it. Either way, he doesn't really change it up too much. In fact, this battle could either go very quickly, or he could just take a really, really long time to do anything. Seems like he's probably going to go for the latter here. But he could always tell me he's going to rush, because he kind of like twitches before he rushes. See, like that, I tried to actually hit him with that orb, but then he shot me with lasers immediately afterwards. Like that again. He tries doing the same tactic. So the best mode of attack here is actually stay in the corners. I'm just going to speed this up here. As you can tell, he just stalls, stalls, stalls. You would think this would go over pretty quickly. Just look at the health. As long as this is taking, it's not, he's just, look how long he's taking. He keeps on dodging all the attacks, moving back and forth. It's not like I'm even doing that badly against him. It's just that he keeps on stalling. He keeps on like throwing orbs in the wrong direction. Every time you actually hit back an orb, he actually dodges it completely. This is sped up 4 times, and you still don't see like any progress on the health bar. Seriously, this is pretty bad. Finally gonna do some damage to him. But either way, there's no constant thing. It's just, you see the same thing over and over. Dodge, dodge, shoot lasers, ram, shoot an orb in the opposite direction of where you are, shoot an orb in the opposite direction of where you are. It's basically the same thing over and over and over. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this boss. I like the premise. I understand due to the gameplay, it's kind of limited to what they could do. However, all the other bosses were very well clever, very well done. Except for this guy. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Dark Matter Swordsman. I mean, look at this. He's only at half health, and I sped this up for how long by 4 times already? Yeah. This is how long it normally takes to fight him. Sometimes you can do it really quickly, but it seems like he's doing the same exact thing. He's not even that hard to dodge. He's just very repetitive. He's pretty much like an easier version of Sweet Stuff, but it just takes a lot longer to actually defeat because he stalls a lot more. And he stalls so much, it's actually kind of hard to survive for so long, because sometimes you're going to get hit by a stupid attack or something stupid because you forget to actually duck out of the way when he charges at you. So I did take quite a few stupid hits, but either way, I'm finally doing some damage on him. Yep, still sped about 4 times here. Just a little bit more. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yep, he's a pro dodger at this stuff, must say. Anytime now. Alright, I'm gonna slow it down here, finally. And he only could take one more hit. He's gonna shoot up his last. He's gonna dodge one more time. Then he's gonna charge up, shoot his little thing right there. And he's finally down, so that phase is down. But of course, we still have Dark Matter himself to fight. Now, be wary of where the eye is. The best way to take this guy out is find out where those little things spawn and be just far enough away from him so you don't hit him with the sword, but rather hit his little projectiles back at you. Now, for this attack, if he's on the left side, he wants to stay in the right corner. If he's at the left side, he wants to stay in the left corner. He cannot hit you that way as long as you do those attacks. And then afterwards, he's going to start rushing at you like this. And he's also going to be going down to the ground over and over. But I already went over this before in the actual fight with him. But either way, best form of attack for this is hit him right on, stare directly into his eyes, because he can't hurt you that way. He can only hurt you if you look away from him, basically. Don't blink. Anyway, that time I got a little bit too close to him, so I didn't do any damage. And wait for him to turn. There he goes. Dark Matter is defeated. We have just finished the Dreamland 2 boss rush mode. And of course, you see the same type of ending you see for the final boss of Dreamland 2. You see Ku looking up on Whispy Wood's nose. You see Rick looking over there in the rocks. You see Kind there in the water, all staring down Kirby and his antics. Even King Dedede is looking up to see the final battle between it. And he looks quite happy too. But as I said, we've already been over this. But Kirby's alive and well. He just needs a little bit of... just needs to wake himself back up, grab the sword, and he's gonna float around with Star chilling behind him, have a lot of good time, do a lot of cool little tricks with his sword. I wish he could have had some of those moves actually in the fight. That would have been pretty cool, instead of just being able to swing it back and forth. That would have been pretty awesome actually, I think. But no, you couldn't do any of those moves, so it could have been a lot better. It seems as though they actually had plans. It would seem with all these moves and animations they have with this sword, it seems like they might have thought that to make the battle a little bit different. But that's all just complete speculation. There's no confirmation or anything of that. It just seems like they put so much effort and time into animating this when only a very few of these animations are actually shown in the battle. Either way, you see a little rainbow go across, and you have this little bonus picture right here that says excellent for beating the boss rush mode. So that's it. We are now done with Dreamland 2, aside from the little mini game rush thing. Maybe I'll do that later, but anyway, I will see you guys next time.